I talk too much, so I'm going to endeavor to keep this video under 3 minutes. There's something that's always bothered me. Maybe it's a diagnostician in me, but I've always been bothered by the fact that societally we always seem to be dealing with symptoms and we don't seem to be all that concerned with honest discussions about the root causes of things. And that's always frustrated me. So let's talk about gun control. You can have the discussion about whether or not you think people should have access to assault weapons, but when it comes to even just firearms in general, we don't seem to be willing to have the discussion about why it is that there are so many broken people running around who would inflict harm on others. Most of us can't even fathom such a thing. And why is this? Of course, they'll do it in a different way. If there aren't guns around, they're still broken. So we don't seem to be willing and honest to have a discussion about whether maybe it's a chemical imbalance problem, something that could actually be treated. Maybe it's childhood trauma, which could be mitigated, with adequate knowledge and understanding about that and helping other people, et cetera, et cetera. Another thing that we don't seem to be willing to have an honest discussion about is the problem of religion itself and this sort of uneasy truce that it seems to me between people of different faiths, because they sort of recognize if they challenge the other faith too much, that may, I guess, impact in the way that they're viewed. But it's interesting to me to see, we'll talk about radicalization of people when they're actually carrying out dictates that are tenets of the text itself. And then saying, but over here we value these virtues, these things, characteristics of our own faith without ever really making the challenge to that faith and saying, actually, you're wrong. And of course, the problem is that both faiths would have the same empirical deficit when it comes to demonstrating their relationship to the nature of our actual existence and reality. And that's always concerned me. Why can't we have an honest discussion about religion? Of course, it's because most people are religious, but we don't seem to be able to actually open up about that. And the third thing I'll say is I think we need to have an open and honest discussion about interventionist foreign policies. And I know there are many detractors who will say that interventionist foreign policy is not a justification for terrorist acts, but it doesn't matter if it's a justification, if it's a contributing factor. You have to be aware of that. And we've been told by our intelligence agencies that it is a contributing factor. And if you don't believe that it's a contributing factor, then just go and burn down your neighbor's outbuildings and kill his dog and rape his wife and see if he doesn't hold some sort of negative point of view and maybe even doesn't get violent. They call it collateral damage in a lot of these countries when we go over there, when a lot of innocent civilians are killed and their futures destroyed, not to mention depleted uranium munitions and horrible birth defects. It's hard to fathom how that wouldn't make someone view you just a little bit is a little bit evil and may harbor resentment towards you. 3 minutes. Thanks for watching.